Hi guys. So I really want to talk to you guys about sugar today. I mentioned earlier in my post that I have been struggling with it this week. Sugar has always been my kryptonite. I had a huge addiction my entire life, and I feel I broke the chains of it about 3 years ago. I still struggle during those weak moments in my life where I'm just questioning everything, or maybe I'm having just feels like a week from hell, and or people are at me, and or those fears and insecurities come up, and sugar is the one that I go to for that temporary relief, even though I know that it will only leave me feeling worse. So today, after a week of just feeling achy and like probably the worst fitness coach in the world because I'm stuffing my face full of sugar, I decided I was just not going to let this get to me. I was not going to let my doubts keep me where I was, and I was not going to keep stuffing my face because I have these fears, that I was just going to push past them. So I talked to my family, and we're doing a detox, all of us. And in that, I really wanted to research sugar because I know a lot of my challengers and a lot of my friends that are addicted to sugar. So I thought it was really important to bring it up and just to talk about it. If I asked you how much sugar you consume each year, would you have an idea? What about on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis? What if I told you that your average American is consuming 150 to 170 pounds of sugar each year? I know what you're thinking, and if you're anything like me, especially even 3 years ago when I was stuffing my face, and I mean, I probably surpassed that number, but I still would have never thought that I was eating that much because I'm not seeing it add up, and sugar's hidden everywhere, so I wasn't seeing the whole picture. But statistics show that for every one American that only consumes 5 pounds of sugar, there's another American that consumes 295 a year. That is a lot of sugar. And especially when you compare it to, sorry, my voice is going out, to how much sugar we consumed 100 years ago. Now, 100 years ago, our average consumption of sugar, what do you think it is? It was 4 pounds. Your average American only consumed 4 pounds of sugar, and I'm sure they probably thought that that was a huge amount. But here we are today consuming 150 to 170 pounds. Now, to break that down, or to give you an idea of what that looks like, imagine 30 to 40 5-pound bags of sugar lined up next to each other in a row. Now, imagine one person, maybe even you, eating all of it. Do you think you'd be able to do that? Like just plain sugar, not in a dessert or a cake or anything, but just eat, like dig a spoon into the bag and eat it. Do you think you could do that? I don't think I could do it. And to break it down even more, eating 150 to 170 pounds of sugar in a year is equivalent to eating a 1/4 pound to a 1/2 pound of sugar a day. A day! So take like a 1/2 pound of sugar and just make that your daily sugar portion. I mean, that makes me sick thinking of it. And when I first read these studies, the only thing I could think of is how on earth can one person consume so much in so little time? Now, I drank, about 3 years ago, I would drink 7 medium coffees, and I think I put like about 11 sugar in each of them. So that's 77 packets of coffee, or of sugar, and that was just during my work day, during a 10-hour period while I was at work. That's not to mention the food that I ate, and I worked at McDonald's at this time, so the food, oh my god, don't even want to think about it. It only takes 4 8-ounce cans of sugar to equal a 1/4 pound of sugar. So now do you see how easy it is to consume that much sugar? Because what I would do, I wouldn't just drink an 12-ounce can. I mean, who really drinks cans of soda anymore? You go to the 7-Eleven and you get a big gulp, or you get like a little 2-liter. That's not even little, like you know what I mean. But it's just, we buy in bulk. We don't buy these little cans anymore, you know? So it's so easy to surpass that amount. Even though you think that that seems outrageous, it's so easy to consume that much. And that is only 2 examples. Like the sugar in our coffee and the sugar in our pop, that's only 2 examples of some of the many, many ways that we easily consume sugar without realizing it. Just to list a few more of the obvious ones, we have cake, chocolate, candy, ice cream, donuts, all these things. But sugar is, like I said before, hidden in your everyday items. It's hidden in breads, animal crackers, frozen dinners, peanut butter, pickles, salad dressings. It's everywhere, even in our fruits and vegetables. And now if you have to be on a low sugar diet, you can look up some really great lists of just low sugar fruits and vegetables that won't really, like, if you have diabetes, but it's literally in everything, which is why you want to buy as natural as possible, as little processing as possible, because you want to limit that sugar that you're intaking, because you're already going to be eating it in your fresh foods. You don't need an excess amount in the processed ones as well, especially in your drinks. Sugar is nicknamed poison. Why do you think that is? It's because it's been depleted of its life sources. It has been depleted of proteins, minerals, and vitamins, and too much sugar causes inflammation and disease, as well as organ failure, malfunction, and hormone disruption. When the systems are disturbed and unbalanced, several other pathological conditions manifest, such as arthritis, depression, behavioral problems, allergies, diabetes, mental illness, migraines, tooth decay. I'm going to tell you this. I lost my enamel because of the amount of sugar that I was eating and the lack of vitamins that I was giving into my body. I lived on junk, and I now have nothing to protect my teeth. I have to go see a dentist every week, if not every other week. I actually try to live with the cavities as long as I can so that I can keep from having to get the dose of whatever they give you. I'm not sure. I have no idea what's in that needle, but that constant, I try to keep that out of my body, so I actually try to live with the cavities. And that's not because I didn't take care of my teeth. It's because I ate too much sugar, and now my teeth are going bad. I struggled with mental illness my entire life, obesity. There's so and all of this I could probably trace back to the sugar that I ate, and yet I never realized it. If you are sick several times of the year, now I'm going to tell you I was sick all the time. And it's probably because I was either that person that ate 295 pounds of sugar a year or surpassed that. But if you are sick a few times a year, please, please, please look at your sugar intake. Sugar is known to create a 40 to 50% drop in the ability of your white blood cells to kill bacteria and germs within the body. The immune suppression effect after ingestion of sugar only kicks in merely a half hour after you eat it, and it can last up to 5 hours. So a person who consumes around 150 to 170 pounds a day more than likely has an immune suppression of around 80,000 hours built up. How much time do you think that'll take off a person's life? We don't have to live sick. We don't have to deal with that. But you do have to make the action that's going to change that. And there are so many ways that you can kick the addiction. It's going to be hard and it will take work. But let me give you some of my tips and my tricks that I used. One thing I did was I can't think of that app now. What's it called? It's Fit something. FitPal, MyFitnessPal. I started scanning everything in my kitchen and looking at the labels. And I was shocked at the amount of sugar that was just in my own pantry and fridge. I then went and cleaned out my kitchen. I cleaned out all of it. Whatever had around like a certain amount of sugar or higher was gone. Had to be under, I forget what the grams was, but I kept it really, really low. I watched everything that went into my body. I checked labels, and when I went back to the store, I bought fresh foods. I shopped the perimeter and tried to stay away from the boxed food. Some of my pastas are, still boxed, obviously. I don't always go for whole grain. Sometimes I get the regular because my kids, sometimes I just want to get them to eat, and they don't always eat whole grain. But I do what I can, and I am conscious about what I'm bringing into my house. And I cut down slowly. I didn't just say no sugar, that's done, I did do a detox for a few days, and so I cut sugar immediately out cold turkey right then, but after that, I just slowly went down. I'm still working on eliminating sugar out of my coffee. I tried to have it black one time, I went down to 2 sugars and then it was just like, you know what, I'm done with those 2. I'm just getting it out, and I couldn't take my coffee. So now I'm down to 1 sugar from 11, and it was just a gradual process, and that's an idea. I didn't cut out pop completely. I went from 2 big gulps to 1, and that may sound insane because you're like, well, you're still drinking a big gulp, but you know what? It was a process, and it was gradual, and now I don't drink pop at all. Every once in a while, I have a little shot of it, like, if I'm really, really craving, I'm just like, I'm going to have a shot. And immediately I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. But I literally don't drink pop. It's a process, and you don't have to get rid of it right away. You don't have to rid your life of it right away. Sometimes you just need to give your body a chance to get used to it. Grant yourself a daily sugar allotment. And that's what I did when I read my kitchen, and I kept a little of what I had, and I brought back whatever I was watching had to be under a certain amount. What I ate that day had to be under a certain amount. I gave myself a sugar allotment. And I used it on foods that mattered. Not by adding sugar to my cereal, because I can sweeten my cereal with fruit. And that's natural sugar. But I used that sugar allotment for the stuff that I really wanted, like to have that cake once a week, or to have that glass of chocolate milk once a week. Just give yourself an allotment and stick to it and make it count. Don't waste those sugar on something that you're not going to get much satisfaction from. Instead of downing pops and sugary drinks like lemonade, make some sun tea. I love tea, and it's so good for your body. You could research the benefits of tea. There are so many different kinds you can get. My favorite is hibiscus tea. It's really, really good. It's made from rose petals and hibiscus, and it's just, the flavor is just very sweet. It's like a red color, a deep red. I love it with a little lemon and honey. And that's one of my things. I use a little honey, just a little, like a teaspoon of it, and that's part of my sugar allotment, and that's probably all of it. Choose the right breakfast cereal, and one with less than 8 grams of sugar per serving. And if you really, like, I get cereal that doesn't have sugar, and then I just add fruit. It actually tastes much better, and it's way better than the little tiny made-up fruit things that they try to stick in the cereal. So, and avoid mixed alcohol drinks. They're loaded with sugar, completely bad for you, and you don't need that. Stick to beer and stick to wine. Wine is just as good, and you know what? I love wine. I keep a bottle in my fridge. It's awesome. And I have that like once a day at the end of the night, just my little glass of wine. It's not even a whole glass, just a little portion. Knocks the edge off and gives me that little good feeling. So that's how I wind down, and that's how I beat my sugar habit. And I still struggle with it, but when I hit those points where I just devour sugar, I've rid it from my daily routine so much that when I get in those little periods where I do go back to sugar and that's all I eat, I always feel icky, and it's actually kind of easy to get back on the wagon because then I'm just like, oh, I can't take this anymore. My body doesn't like that because it remembers how good it felt without the sugar. So I hope that helps. Let me know your thoughts. If you're struggling with sugar, I would love to help you. Reach out, comment, message me, whatever. I would love to just talk with you because I could also use some support and accountability in keeping away from those treats. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.